Hello, and welcome to this Hearts of Iron 4 modding tutorial. In this video, we will show you how to add new technology to the game, as well as new equipment types and new units to use that equipment. To do this, we will add a new technology that unlocks a new unit type and related equipment. In this example, it will be Power Armor. The Technology files. Technologies are defined under the Hearts of Iron 4 Common/Technologies folder. If we look at the Vanilla Games technology folder, we can see there is one text file for each tab of the technology tree in-game, along with files for doctrines. Each technology file contains a list of related technologies that appear in the technology or doctrines tree or are unlockable by other means, such as focuses. Under the Hearts of Iron 4 Common folder, there is also the Technology_Tags folder. This folder contains a file that contains two blocks which define important information relating to technology. First is a list of technology categories. Technology categories are used when defining research bonuses and AI research priorities for technologies with that category. Next is the technology_folders block, which defines every tab, known as folders, in the technology tree. If you wish to add a new technology tab, then it will have to be added here. In this tutorial, we will not add a new tab. Instead, we will add our new technology to the Infantry tab. Adding a new technology. To add new technologies to the mod, first make a Technologies folder under our Mods Common folder. Then, inside the folder, create a new technology text file for our mod. In this example, we have named the file mfm_infantry.txt. Open your technology file. Now, add a technologies block to the top of the file. Next, you can add your technology. Create a block using the name of your technology as the block ID. In this example, we will call the technology simple_exosuits. If you want to add a technology that is not researchable in the tech tree and instead is unlockable by other means, such as focuses, then it is important to add an allow block with always equals no inside of it. Without this, the AI will still research the technology, but the player will be unable to do so. As we want this technology to be researchable, we will not add this. Instead, we will add it to the Infantry folder. Do this by adding a folder block. Then inside of it, write name equals infantry_folder. Then, add a position. This will be where the technology is located in the tech tree in relation to its grid box. This will be explained later. For now, we can add a position block with coordinates of x equals 0 and y equals 2. Why y equals 2? If we look at the vanilla infantry technology file, we can see at the top of the file a list of years followed by numbers. These are known as constants and are defined in the script files with an @ symbol at the start of the constant's name, in this case, a year. You can use constants in place of numbers or other values in the files where constants are defined. Here, they are used to ensure that each technology aligns to the year it is available to be researched. As the constant 1936 has a 2 after it, we want to use the 2 for our y-axis so that it will align with other technologies available in 1936. If we were to add these constants to our own file, we could use them in place of the number. Next, we need to add a start year and research cost. Add start year equals 1936 outside the folder block but within your technology. This start year is what is used to calculate ahead of time penalties for technology. Next, add research cost equals 2.5. Research cost is how many days your technology takes to research with no bonuses or penalties. This is calculated with 1 being 100 days. In this example, a research cost of 2.5 will be 250 days. Next, we can make the technology give the player something for researching it. Technologies can give country modifiers, such as industry bonuses, give specific units, such as infantry, different modifiers, unlock equipment, unlock units, or unlock modules for planes, tanks, and ships. For this technology, we will add a bonus to industry and a bonus to all infantry. For modifiers that affect a whole country, such as industry bonuses, we can add these at the top level within the technology block. For example, we can add production speed buildings factor equals 0.10. This will mean researching this technology will increase the construction speed of all buildings by a factor of 10%. For unit modifiers that affect specific units, we need to wrap these in a subunit category block. This will be explained later. For all leg infantry, meaning not motorized or mounted infantry, we need to add a category light infantry block. Inside this block, we can add any modifiers that affect units within this category. In this example, we will add maximum speed equals 0.5 to give all infantry a 50% movement bonus if this technology is researched. Finally, add localization for the technology we have just added in its localization file. Adding technology categories. The next thing to add to our new technology is a categories block, and inside of it, add any relevant categories. For this example, we will add a custom category. To do this, in your mods common folder, add a technology_tags folder. Then add a text file for your mods technology categories and open it. Add a technology categories block, then inside it, add the unique identifier for your technology category. In this case, it will be Cat Power Armor. Then, return to your new technology and add under its categories block, Cat Power Armor. We can now use Cat Power Armor when creating research bonuses to make them specific to only technologies with this category. If you want to add additional categories, you can add them within the categories block. Remember to add localization for the category in the localization file. Adding the tech to the tech tree. If we were to start the game now, we would not see our new technology in the technology tree. This is because we need to add the technology to the tech tree's graphics file. When we added our technology and defined its folder, we gave it a position relative to the technology's own grid box. A grid box is a UI element used to create the tech tree. As we have not defined the grid box, the game does not know where to place the new tech in the tech tree. If our technology was connected to a previous technology, then we would not have to determine a grid box, as instead it will use the first tech in the tech tree for its grid box. To add a grid box for our technology, we have to go to the technology tree's GUI file. To find the GUI folder, go to your vanilla Hearts of Iron folder, then the interface folder, then the file countrytechtreeview.gui. Copy this file and place it in your mod's interface folder. Then open the file. A GUI file is what is used to build the user interface in the game. It works by defining a GUI types block, then all related GUI elements as container window type blocks within it. In this case, we only need to add a new grid box for our technology to the infantry technology folder. Scroll down the file until you find the container window type block with the name of infantry folder. This relates to the infantry folder as defined in the technology tabs file. This is what defines what the infantry technology folder looks like, including how much of the screen it should take up, the margins around the edge, where the scroll bar is located, how fast the scroll bar moves, and what background texture to use. Under it, there is another container window type block named techtree_stripes. As the name implies, this is where stripes on the tech tree are defined, along with the subtitles for the dates along the top of each equipment category. After this container window type, we will find the grid box type definitions. This is where the locations of the first technology in each branch of the technology tree are defined. Here, we want to add a new grid box type for our technology. Under the infantry weapons tree grid box type block, type a new grid box type block. Then, give it a name, which is our technology's name, followed by the word tree. In this case, it will be name equals simple exosuits tree. Next, we need to add a position for the technology. This position counts from the top left corner of the screen and marks where the X0 and Y0 position of the position we defined for the technology will be located. For the moment, we can use the same position as the infantry weapons tree above. Next, add a slot size with a width and height of 70. Slot size is the size of each position for the technology in the technology file. For example, technology at position 1 will be 70 pixels away from the technology at position 0. This is also the size of a single square technology icon in the tech tree. Finally, add the format equals left. This tells the UI where to start counting positions from and tells it how to draw lines connecting technologies. Left is for trees that go from left to right, while up is used for trees that go from top to bottom. If we now start the game, we can see our technology in the tech tree. However, it overlaps with the infantry weapons technology. If we have debug mode enabled, we can return to our technology GUI file and adjust the X and Y coordinates of the technology. When we press the save button on the GUI file, the in-game UI will automatically update with your changes. Here, I've changed the Y value of the position to be 450. When I press save, you can see the technology tree has automatically updated to move the technology to a new position. Adding art to your technology. To add an icon for your technology, add the icon to your mod folder under the gfx/interface/technologies folder. This should be a DDS or TGA file and be 64 by 64 pixels in size. Next, make a GFX file for your graphics under the interface folder. In this example, we will name it mfm_technologies.gfx. Open the file and create a sprites type block. Then define the sprites type for your technology's graphic. The name must follow this format: gfx_technology name_medium. Equipment files. Equipment files are found under the common/units/equipment folder. Here, each folder that relates to a specific type of equipment is located. There are two types of equipment in the equipment file: archetypes and regular equipment. Archetypes can be thought of as the base version of the equipment with all attributes and modifiers the equipment has, whilst regular equipment inherit from the archetype and modify specific attributes and modifiers. There are many different attributes that equipment can have depending on what kind of equipment it is and what it is used for. In this example, we will be basing our equipment on the existing infantry equipment, so we will discuss the attributes and modifiers required for our new equipment. For more information, you can see the file documentation.info located in the vanilla equipment folder and the equipment modding page on the Hearts of Iron 4 wiki. Creating new equipment. We are going to create power armor equipment to give to our new power armor infantry unit. In our mod folder, create a units folder under your common folder, then create an equipment folder. Next, create a new text file for our equipment. We will call this one powerarmor.txt. Open it and create an equipments block. In this equipments block, we will now create the archetype equipment for our power armor. We will have to do this even if we have only one version of the equipment. Create a block named after our equipment, in this case, power_armor. Next, add the following. Year. This is the year the technology first becomes available to the player and should match the technology's year. Is archetype equals yes. This sets this equipment to be an archetype. Picture. This is a default picture that represents the generic version of this equipment in UIs, such as the equipment stockpile and Lend-Lease window. Is buildable equals no. This sets the archetype to not be a piece of equipment that is buildable. Type equals infantry. This is what kind of unit can use this equipment. In this case, it is for infantry. Group by equals archetype. This is how the equipment is grouped on the production screen. Interface category equals interface category land. This is what category the equipment appears on the production screen. This can be land, armor, capital ships, screen ships, other ships, and air. These are the required values to set up an archetype. You can now define the stats and modifiers of the equipment. To start with, we will add the following. Build cost IC equals 5.5. This is the cost in IC to produce the equipment. Reliability equals 0.8. This is the base reliability of the equipment. Lend-Lease cost equals 2. This is how much space in a convoy one piece of equipment takes. These are the minimum stats that LAN equipment requires. Adjust the values to match the balance you want for your equipment. Next, we will add the stats and modifier that the equipment will give to the unit. In this case, we will add breakthrough, defense, hardness, and an armor value. These values are used to define the in-game stats for any units that use this equipment. Finally, we will make the power armor cost resources to construct. Add a resource block, then enter the resources you want your equipment to cost. In this case, it will be steel and chromium. A full list of equipment stats and modifiers can be found on the Hearts of Iron 4 wiki equipment modding page. Now that we have added the archetypes, we can add the equipment itself. Under the archetype blocks, add a new block for our equipment. It is common to name these with the same name as the archetype, followed by a number starting with 0. In this case, the block is called Power Armor 0. Next, add the year the equipment is available in. Then the line archetype equals Power Armor to tell the game what archetype this equipment is inheriting from. Then, add the line priority equals 10. This determines the position of the equipment on the production screen. After this, add the line visual level equals 0. Each variant of a piece of equipment will appear in order on the production screen based on its visual level compared to another variant. For example, if we were to add an advanced power armor equipment, we would need to make the visual level higher than 0 for it to appear higher than its power armor equipment. Finally, remember to add localization strings for your power armor equipment. Adding equipment art. We can add equipment art in the exact same way as adding our technology art. Add the equipment art to your mod's technology graphics folder, then define it as a sprite type in the mod's technology graphics file. For equipment art, a recommended image size is no larger than 146 by 54 pixels in size. The naming convention is the same as other technologies. The name of the sprite should match the name of the technology that unlocks the equipment, not the equipment name itself. If you want to have unique graphics for the equipment depending on what country it is from, you can add the country's tag after the GFX and before the equipment's name. For example, GFX ENG Early Power Armor Medium for Unique Power Armor Art for Britain. We also need to add an archetype graphics for our power armor. In your mod's GFX interface folder, make an archetype folder. Then add a graphics file for your equipment archetype. This should be a simple silhouette that represents the equipment. This graphic is recommended to be under 100 by 50 pixels. The name of the sprite type should be GFX Archetype Equipment Archetype Name Medium. Adding equipment in a technology. We will now unlock our new equipment with a new technology that can be researched in the tech tree. Return to our mod's technology file and add a new technology block under our simple exosuits technology. This one will be called Early Power Armor. Add it to a folder block with a position to the right of the simple exosuit technology, in this case y equals 4. Next, add a start year and a research cost. Now we can add an enable equipment block. The enable equipments block unlocks any equipment specified within it to be produced and used. In this case, we will add our new Power Armor 0 equipment. Finally, add a categories block and our Power Armor category. Now we have all we need to unlock our new equipment in this new technology. However, this technology is not connected to the previous technology in the tech tree. To fix this, we need to go to the technology that precedes this one. In this case, our simple exosuits technology. We need to add a path block which will tell the game that there is a connection between this technology and another which comes after this. Add a path block. Then add the line leads to tech equals early power armor. This will draw a connection between the technology and the next technology. Next, add the line research cost coef equals 1. This can be used to modify how many days it takes to research the technology this technology leads to by multiplying the research speed by the research cost coef. This is only used in cases where two technologies with different research speeds lead to the same technology. In most cases, you should keep this as 1. If we load the game, we can now see our new technology is in the tech tree along with a connection between the two technologies. If you have been following along now, you will notice that we have some errors in the error log. These errors inform us that our new equipment we have added needs to be added to the script enum equipment bonus type. This is in relation to the file script enums text located in the game's common folder. An enum is a programming concept, but in this case, we can view it as a list of equipment in the game. These can be used in the script for bonuses relating to that equipment. Be warned that there can only be one script enum file, so copying it will make your mod incompatible with any other mod that overwrites this file. You will also need to keep it updated with any new technologies or equipment added in game patches. Copy the script enums text file to your mod's common folder. Open it and scroll to the bottom of the script enum equipment bonus type block. Then add our new equipment and equipment archetype, creating a new unit. To add a new unit type that uses our equipment, create a file for that unit type in our mod's common units folder. Open it and create a sub-units block. Next, create a block for your new unit. In this example, it will be Power Armor Infantry. It is a good idea to reference similar units in the vanilla game's files to understand what components are needed to create a unit and to ensure that the stats and balance match what you have in mind. In this example, we will compare our power armor infantry in the file on the left to the infantry in the vanilla game on the file in the right. First, we will add an abbreviation for our new unit. This is a unique 3-letter code that is used internally in the game for the unit. In this example, we will use POW for power. Next, we will add a sprite and map icon category. In both cases, these will be infantry. The sprite is the base 3D model used for the unit. For now, we will just use infantry. The map icon category shows what kind of icon the unit uses on the map and can be either infantry, armored, or other. Next, we will add the priority. This is the weighting of the unit icon if it is used alongside other units in a division. For example, the priority of infantry is 600. If we set power armor infantry to be 610, then if a division has an equal mix of infantry and power armor infantry, then the power armor infantry sprite and icon will be shown instead of the infantry icon as the priority is higher. Next, add AI priority. This is a basic weighting that tells the AI how much it should value this unit type. For now, keep this as 200. Finally, add active equals no. This means that the unit is only available if it has been unlocked by a technology. Next, we need to define the unit type and group. Create a type block and in the block, enter infantry. This type block is used internally within the game to manage what kind of unit the unit is. It takes a list of relevant internal types. For a full list of internal types, please visit the Hearts of Iron 4 Wiki Unit Modding page. Next, add a group equals infantry line. This states which group in the division designer the unit will appear in. This can be infantry, support, mobile, or armor. Now, add a categories block. In the categories block, we will define what unit categories the unit is a part of. This works the same way as technology categories and is used for things such as bonuses that apply to specific types of units. A list of unit categories can be found under the common/unit tags folder, and additional categories can be added here. In this case, we will copy the categories of the regular infantry unit, that being category frontline, category light infantry, category all infantry, and category army. Now, we will add the values that determine the in-game statistics of a unit. First, we will start with the mandatory stats that each land unit requires. These are combat width, which determines the combat width of a single battalion that this unit takes up in a regiment, max strength, the unit's hit points, maximum organization, the maximum organization the unit can have, default morale, how fast organization regenerates, manpower, how much manpower is required for the unit, training time, how long the unit takes to train in days, weight, how much transport capacity the unit takes up on transport ships, and supply consumption, how much supplies the unit requires. In addition, we will add a suppression value for our unit so that it can be used to garrison occupied provinces. This is added with the line suppression, followed by the amount of suppression a single battalion of the unit gives. Finally, we need to add the equipment the unit needs. We do this by adding a needs block. Then inside the needs block, specifying what equipment the unit needs using the archetype name followed by the amount of equipment. In this case, it will be infantry equipment equals 100, and then our new power armor with power armor equals 50. This is the minimum we need to do to create our new unit. However, there are additional modifiers that you could add to these units to adjust their stats. It is important to remember that a unit's final stats are the status equipment the unit has modified by the stats of the unit. A list of these can be found on the Hearts of Iron 4 Wiki Unit Modding page. To enable our unit to be used in-game, we must unlock it in our technology. Return to the technology we created in the tech tree and add an Enable Subunits block. Inside that block, add our new unit's name. This means this unit is now unlocked when this technology is researched. Remember to add a localization for your new unit. Adding unit art. We now need to add art for our unit's token. These are the icons that show up in-game to represent the unit. These icons are located under the GFX Interface Counters folder, then under the Divisions Large and Divisions Small folders. Here is the file unitinfantryicons.dds located under the Divisions Large folder. As you can see, it is the icon used for infantry in the game. On the left side is the default icon, and on the right side is the NATO symbol that is used if you have the Use NATO Symbol option enabled in-game. The file size is 152 by 42 pixels. In the Division Small folder, we can find the small versions of the same icon. They are laid out in the same way with the default symbol on the left and the NATO symbol on the right. The small version of the file is 60 by 12 pixels. These two graphics are defined in the subunit icon GFX file under the interface folder. To add icons for our own unit, first add the graphics file as a DDS or TGA files to your mod's GFX folder. Then create a subunits icon GFX file for the mod under the interface folder. Next, add your icons in sprite type blocks using the following name formats. Make sure to add no of frames equals 2 to the end of the sprite types block. Now, if we enter the game, we can see our technology is visible in the tech tree. If we select the technologies, we can see they provide the effects we desire, including unlocking a new unit type and equipment. If we research these technologies, we can look at the equipment window to see Power Armor equipment is available to build. We can also go to the Division Designer and see our new Power Armor inventory can be added to divisions. Now you have all the information you need to know to add your own technologies and units to your mod. Thank you for watching.